Welcome back to Halloween Horror Reviews 2025. Guys, we're only on the movie 2 of this year's reviews, and I'm only just getting started. And I gotta tell you all, when it comes down to today's movie, this movie is actually kind of a special one for one particular reason. Moving on to today's movie, I'm here to talk about 2025's Shelby Oaks, written and directed by Chris Stuckmann in his directorial debut. And that is a sentence that I never thought I would ever say on this channel. Holy crap. In the plot of Shelby Oaks, we follow a character named Mia, portrayed by Camille Sullivan, whose desperate search to find her long-lost sister Riley falls into obsession when it turns out that the imaginary demon from their childhood just might be real. And before I continue on with today's video, let's also start our conversation below. Are you all looking forward to Shelby Oaks? What are your biggest hopes with the film? What are your biggest fears about Shelby Oaks? Let me know below. Alright everybody, let's get into Shelby Oaks. David! This is a day that I did not think would ever happen. Chris Stuckmann is a person I've been a big fan of since 2011, and to see him going from film reviewer, film critic, and realizing his dreams for now being, a feature-length filmmaker, I can't help to not only be thrilled for the guy, but to be really proud and to be very happy from. I actually did contribute to his Kickstarter. I did help fund Shelby Oaks, so knowing that is not only to realize his dream, but to also see a feature-length film and to see the title written and directed by Chris Stuckmann in a movie theater this past Friday, because I saw this movie last Friday, it was something that I didn't think would happen. Even though I was looking forward to the film, I didn't go into the film wearing rose-colored glasses because while I have some things to say about this movie later on, absolutely yes, I do have my critiques about this movie. However, with that being said, as a person that's been a follower of Stuckmann for 14 years, I am very happy to say that I thought that Shelby Oaks is a damn solid directorial debut and really a damn solid horror movie. One particular person I want to talk about is Keith David, who does have some screen time in the film, and I will say this, Keith David's screen time is limited, but he is very good in the film. I just want to let you all know that really quick. You all have been hearing the praise for Camille Sullivan, and I will join that praise because Camille Sullivan is excellent in the film. There are sequences of this movie where Camille Sullivan definitely has to go places in this movie given the situations that her character is in this movie, but man, Camille Sullivan not only does a great job in the dramatic sensibilities, but also providing the great horror sensibilities of being scared. And something else that I absolutely loved about Camille Sullivan's performance is the emotional core that this movie is, which is the relationship that she has, and she's doing everything she possibly can to find her sister, knowing of what has been happening ever since her sister's disappearance. If you didn't care about Mia's search for Riley, this movie does not work, and thankfully from the opening 10 minutes or so, this movie, and especially due to Camille Sullivan's performance, got me so locked in that I cared about what was going on. Going on to something else that I really dug, and that was Chris Stuckmann's directing. Within the first 10 minutes, not only does Chris Stuckmann do a great job of setting up a really good emotional core, besides Shelby Oaks being a very good horror film, Shelby Oaks is also a really good mystery film that kept me locked in really for the majority of the time. And that brings me to something else that I thought was very cleverly done in this movie, and that is that in the opening 10 minutes, Stuckmann does a very good job of not only mixing in those found footage moments, but also puts in the narrative aspects, and that's something that I thought that he played around with in this movie that I thought was a very well executed element. And like I was just mentioning to you all, besides Shelby Oaks being a very investigative film, this movie is also a horror film, and man, gotta tell you all right now, there were definitely a couple of times, 3 times in particular, where my stomach just churned, man. There is a particular scene that even though I knew was coming, there was a sound effect that I heard, and the moment I heard it, I just went, oh shit. And there was one other scene where, let's just say, shit happens, and there is something that happens in the scene, and my reactions went from this to this, essentially. Oh. Oh! Throughout Shelby Oaks, this is a movie that not only showcases great atmosphere, which is, by the way, helped by some damn good cinematography, especially in sequences that actually had me pretty on the edge of my seat. Shelby Oaks also has sequences full of so much great tension. Another particular amount I have to praise when it comes down to the horror element of this movie. Now listen to me carefully, guys. Stuckmann, thank you, and I mean thank you, for no false alarm jump scares. Now it's very obvious to say that because Chris Stuckmann himself said that he absolutely hates false alarm jump scares. Now, here's the thing. Are there a couple of jump scares in this movie? There's like maybe a few of them. Shelby Oaks is a film that would much rather rely on its atmosphere and building up tension through the story, through the score, to which, oh my god, by the way, really quick, the Newton Brothers score of this movie is so damn good. I seriously love the Newton Brothers score, and there's a particular bit in this movie where, no joke guys, I felt the hairs on my back standing up. This movie's ending I thought was a damn good and a damn chilling ending.
Happy parents, you old fuck!
While I thought Shelby Oaks was a very solid directorial debut, there are unfortunately some issues that I have with the film that kept it from being great. The first half of the film, while it does have this really good investigative element, there are quite a few times the pacing was just a bit all over the place. There were a few times in the first half of the film where it felt like that a scene was maybe going on for maybe just a tad bit too long. This is a film in which Chris Stuckmann has said that a couple of films influenced him, and that is pretty clear while I was watching Shelby Oaks. But here's the thing, guys. There is a sequence in the film that is going on, and there is a particular film that is very, very evident that Chris Stuckmann is very much influenced by, and once you see the film, I think you'll understand. The influence of this movie and how much he is influenced by this film, I feel like was a bit too on the nose. Due to the film drawing a lot of influence from one particular film, I feel like it took away from what could have been a very chilling scene. For some reason, and this just might be me, but when Shelby Oaks was going from the second to the third act, it felt like that there was some material missing. I was essentially like this. Whoa, I feel like we're missing some information here, Chris. What happened right here? So yeah, again, I don't know if there was something missing, but something just felt very off from that switch from the second into the third act of this movie. So overall, while I do unfortunately have issues, Shelby Oaks is a very solid directorial debut from Chris Stuckmann. All in all, I'm gonna give Shelby Oaks a 3.5 out of 5. Shelby Oaks comes out later this month and establishes a promising new voice from Stuckmann, and I definitely want to hear more of that voice. I hope you enjoyed my review of Shelby Oaks. If so, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. If y'all want to see my previous 2 videos, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.